In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to add writing, which we can use the laser cutter to engrave your boxes to sort of personalize them to make them a little bit more interesting. Okay, now the program we're going to use is 2D Soft. So if I go to the bottom left and type in 2D, it should come up. Here we go, 2D Design, which is made by TechSoft. Alright, and this is the package that will open. This is 2D Design package, so we can actually kind of plan things that are going to be flat that we can actually send. We always use this program to send things to the laser cutter. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set this up to the same size as the box top. So we're going to go up the top to Setup, across to Drawing and to Layout. Now I've just measured one of the boxes, and the boxes was the kind of usable space in the middle is 130 by 80. So I'm going to click on User Defined. I'm just going to change this bit here to 130. Do it on both of them, 130, and then the x-axis I'm just going to change that to 80. Okay, so 130 by 80, 130 by 80, that's going to give my size. So if I say OK, so this is the top of my box. So anything that goes on there will actually fit on there and cut. So the first thing is I might want to put some writing. So if I go over to here, I can find the ABC tool, click on there, and I can put some writing. So I might want to put my name on there. Okay, so I'll say OK, and just click OK. So initially it comes out, alright, and obviously it's huge, it's far too big, it's not going to fit on there. So I'm going to just click the black arrow, and if I select the writing, in the center is the move tool, so I can move that down a little bit. And obviously that's still too big, okay? I could try and shrink it from the corners, but it's going to do all sorts of weird things, and it might kind of stretch it, and it might squish it, and the orientation will look odd. So if I go down to the bottom here, I can actually go to where it says Property. So if I click on Property, and then now go into Settings. Okay, I got all sorts of options, so I can change the font if I want to. So I could change it to maybe a sort of swirly writing, and I can change the height. So if I want it to be half the height, I can just change that down to 10 and say OK, and OK again. All right, so that's going to fit quite nicely onto the top of my box there. Okay, now importantly it's in black, because black is what it's going to be to etch it. Okay, so etch means when it doesn't cut all the way through the wood, so it's burning sort of halfway through. Okay, so I might want to put some writing on there. The other thing you might want to do is you might want to add an image. Okay, so if I go randomly, let's go online and let's think of what could we say. I'm just looking around my desk. Right, there's a little Star Wars thing there. Okay, so say I want a picture of Star Wars. Okay, so if I type in Star Wars, all right, and go to Images. Okay, I'm going to get all sorts of fabulous little things. Okay, now what I've got to think about is that I've only got one color. I've only got one line that I can cut round. So something like this, okay, this little birthday cake or one of the little figures all around would be far too complicated for it to be able to do. So if I go to Settings, Tools. I go to Tools, okay, this opens up more search things here, okay, and what I can do is if I go to Type, I can maybe change that to clip art or line drawing. So let's have a look at those, see what they look like. So if I go to clip art, okay, so these are quite good because it's just very, very simple black and white. So that would just burn on that bit there, or I could have a little Darth Vader there, or whatever these symbols are. Okay, that would work quite nicely. So let's put on there. What should we do? Should we do this little Darth Vader one here? Okay, so I click on the picture. Okay, and I'm going to save that image. So let's have a look. What are the options? View file. So let's go View Image. Okay, so that's making it as big as I can. I'm now going to go right click and save the image as. Okay, so that's going to save it into my thing. And I'm just going to give it a little very simple name. So I'm just going to call this DV for Darth Vader and save. Okay, I can now go into my 2D TechSoft and go File, Import. And if I go to the drop down box, it should hopefully, there you go, it's just the third one down, you can see it says DV. So I'm just going to select that one and say Open and OK. Alright, now again that's coming huge, so what I can do is I can just zoom out. Okay, and I want to shrink that down. So what I can do is, if I'm holding down the shift button, so if you look on the left on your keyboard, it's the up arrow, okay, if I hold that down, when I grab the corner, it will keep the ratio. So whatever I do, it's not going to make anything kind of weird with the shape. It's going to look exactly the same way around. Okay, so that'll be fine. And I'll put that, make it a little smaller. So again, left click, holding the shift button down, just grab one of the corners, and I can just move that down a little bit like that. Okay, and I can move that into the center, something like that. Okay, now at the moment that's an image, so they wouldn't be able to understand what to do with cutting. So what I'm going to do is go up to the top to bitmaps, down to where it says vectorize. Now vectorize means it's going to turn it into a set of instructions which the computer will be able to understand. So click on there and then just select that image. Okay, now what it'll do is it'll come up and say how many colors it's found. So you might find suddenly it's made up of like 20 different colors. What you can do is just go monochrome, okay, and have a quick kind of look at how it looks, okay, because obviously you're messing around with the image. You can change this that way, so I'm just bringing mine this way, just because that line there wasn't very dark. See, when it started off it was about there, it was a bit dotty, so if I bring it all the way across here, move it too much, and just kind of move that around until I'm happy with it. So I think that's quite clear. It's I've not got any strange dots on there. I'm quite happy. So it's monochrome, and just slide it around there until I'm happy. Okay. Obviously, at this point, if the image is far too complicated, then cancel and pick a different one. So I'm just going to say OK, and OK again. All right. So that's how I put writing on, and that's how I put an image on there. I would advise against putting something like, you might be tempted to put 7C or 7A, something like that. I would avoid doing that, because remember it's going to last you through 7, through 8, and through 9, okay? So when I'm happy with that, okay, I'm just going to save that. Okay, so I'm just going to call this DV top. Okay, and I need to email this to the laser cutter. Okay, so if I go to the start and type in Outlook, okay, that should open up your Outlook. All right, it might when it opens give you sort of lots of options of saying next and next and next. Just keep clicking on those there and there. Okay, so I'm just going to go next. Okay, let's just move that there. So to email, I just go to laser cutter. Okay, there we go, laser cutter. Okay, when you type laser cutter, you might want to use just the check name there. So you type in laser cutter and just click there, and it'll go underlined. Once it's underlined, it means it's recognized. I can then attach the file. So I go to attach file. You should hopefully see the one you've just been working on. So there you go, mine's my DV top. So I click on there, and then I'd go send. Okay, once I've done that, I will need to go and see your teacher. And ask if I can use the laser cutter. You'll need to tell your teacher, you'll need to have your box with you so that you can actually cut that onto top. The important thing being is that you need to change the Z axes. Okay, so when you're doing that, you need to make sure that your teacher's fully aware that you're cutting the top of the box, because we need to change the Z axis, which is the up down, to so it actually, you'll see the bed on the laser cutter actually go down. You'll hear it kind of whirling down the way, and then you can actually put the box under. Okay, but just make sure your teacher knows what you're doing, and you should be allowed to do that fine. Okay, hopefully that's been helpful.